Hello and welcome back, everybody. My name is Lucas. This is Lucas G. Variety, and we are back for the Bandit Blades actual play, the Immortals. Yes. I got two of us tonight. We might get our third later on, but we are still going to roll ahead because that is what we do. And today is, of course, March. I had it the 14th. Happy almost Easter weekend, everybody. Good Friday tomorrow. Woo woo. But today is March the 14th. Did I say it right? Nope, it's yeah, that's right. It's right. 2022. And this is our session, I believe, number 19. Let me just double check. Yep, session number 19. Undo the Undead. Or Death to the Undead. I haven't decided yet, but it's one of those two. So, we are back. What happened last time, guys? What happened?
I don't know. I don't remember. Did I make it last time?
I don't think we had a mission last time. I think it was...
It was just back at camp, getting everything figured out for our next mission and dealing with the fallout of the previous mission.
There you go.
Oh, yes. I remember that now. We did phases.
We talked about the fire over our guy's head and how that was how that affects him. You know, it's like a super power up, but comes with bad side effects.
Yeah, he gets corruption if he uses it, but it makes him like superhuman or something like that. Something crazy good, except for that horrible backside. Considering our chosen will just chop his head off if he gets too corrupted.
I think he gets a super enhanced strength, but also if he does it, he can see the Cinder King, and the Cinder King can see him. That can be good. It's like good and bad at the same time. Really, for him, poor Leo, it's probably just bad all the time. The guy will never be the same again. He'll probably wish for death and be unable to die. He's like not a chosen, but he's kind of, but not. Anyway, poor Leo.
I got to yell at some more rookies, which is always fun.
Yep.
I got to scold them because they were being insubordinate up to what was it, Princely Portsmouth, everybody's favorite rookie, right? I hate him.
Wasn't it King James?
Oh yeah, King James. You're right. Yeah, King James got
Pompous McPompous named.
right. I think it was Paulina Bulletproof got promoted over to like the new leader of the rookies. And she also got actually promoted to a soldier because
well, that's right.
We told the story.
We lost enough people to have to tell a story. And almost lost enough to tell two stories.
That's right. You're close.
We're going to lose someone else, and it's going to be a story.
I feel like that might happen this time around, but we'll see.
Don't take much sometimes. Sometimes it's not even in our hands.
Oh man.
There was Shreya was at the command meeting. She informed you that Panyar should go on the missions, at least on a special mission, which is the assault mission you're choosing to do. And then I think she was part of the flame about Leo's, where she kind of looked at Leo and just, okay, fine, and then she leaves. There's a little bit there. It's hard to remember. It was 2 weeks ago. And that kind of summed it up, right? And we did all of our campaign actions. The only thing that was left is the commander has two questions to ask about the mission, which we'll recover because we kind of did it off screen. And I think, well, Dom, I'm going to give it to you. I have a couple scenes, but I know there's probably a command staff meeting happening where we talk about the missions, and I'll have to represent the other two, kind of, but we already kind of know what we're doing. But I'll give it to you with what you wanted to start out with today. Did you have a scene you wanted to do?
Oh, I thought we were doing Freya's weapon, right?
You want me to start?
I didn't have anything else planned besides that.
Oh, I thought you said you wanted to have a scene with the commander as the marshal.
I said me or the commander
to
do the scene that I talked about, but I'm more than happy to do it if Soundwaves doesn't have anything.
Sure. What scene is it specifically?
No, I don't have anything.
the speech, the rallying cry, you know, the
Okay.
getting everybody excited before we go out on the mission.
I feel like maybe that can come after Shreya's at
Yeah,
the forge.
exactly.
Okay, perfect.
Once everybody's gathered together.
So let's go back into the command staff meeting. The missions are coming in. You're trying to decide what you're doing. You got 3 on the table, right? I'm going to back it up just a little bit here. One of your scouts comes in and is like, Commander, we've seen a flare to the northwest. It was blue followed by green, which only means that it was a Legionnaire signaling for desperate help. And this is, of course, what's going to lead to the assault mission, right? He's like, we got some, and it's not any of our people here, but we got more Legionnaires out there. And he writes the coordinates that he knows, kind of down on a scratch paper. He puts them on the paper, and then he salutes and he leaves. Yep, and there was, you guys know that Render is back to the west. He's behind you now, but he's going to be plowing through. But you know Talgon Forest belongs to the Horned One and the Panyar. So the Undead have a tough time creeping through here because everything hates them. They don't really like you either. You're like a little step above the Undead, but the Undead get slowed. You have an advantage here. But Render is still pushing his troops. He drove hard north. He burned East and West Lake. And then he pushed himself into Talgon Forest where he met up with his other broken companion, Blighter. They kind of crossed paths. Blighter kept moving east to attack the fort, where Render is now still to your west, pushing towards you guys. So, a brilliant idea of raiding Render's camp, infiltrating it for intel, was also brought up. Of course, we're going to be not doing that mission. As good as it sounds to go into the belly of the beast, and this one you're going to have to pass up on. Well, you weren't sure, like at this time as you're putting the missions together. And then the third mission comes in. The Mercy from last time at the last location who wanted your help and you could not help her. Arun. One of your other scouts finds her half dead on the road into the forest and brings her back to camp, where she says that she went on to the shrine with 2 of her companions. They came to the shrine, this sacred stone shrine, kind of like the one that you guys found Yaks in, and they found all these bandits and other civilians that are teamed up, but there are people that look like people with black eyes, and there's ones that look like shadowed versions of other people. There's just a weird mix and match. And they were quick to dispatch of her 2 companions as they were caught. And so she gets brought in, and she's crying and she's sobbing, and just well, she's inconsolable at first, right? But she says, "I know what they're doing. It made a copy of me. I looked at one and it drew out all my sins. It made them tangible, an amalgamation of all my wrongdoings and all my bad thoughts. It made a copy of me. I don't know how else to say it. And then they left me for dead. But I know they're moving on to one of the horned one. Well, she says one of the Panyar shrines. I feel like this is what they want to do. This is what they've been building up to do. You gotta stop them this time. You can't let this one go. You know, she's pleading to whoever will listen to her.
Yeah.
You know, and that mission comes onto the table. So go ahead.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I think like if we're in the command tent, right?
Mm-hmm.
Rashi has the scroll that just got handed to him. I imagine we already know of the other 2 missions. And then the scroll with the flare that goes up is like real time. This changes everything, Commander.
Aye.
If they're Legionnaires, we've got to go for them.
Agreed. Do we have the men to spare on this? I know getting out of the mountains was pretty rough on the troops.
This whole trek has been rough on these troops, but they're tough. They'll get through it.
You've moved literal mountains for me, Marshal. Let's move a couple trees, too. You have my authority, and you have my blessing. Make this happen.
So it shall. So I shall. Legionnaire never leaves a Legionnaire behind. And we'll make sure that we don't tonight. And I imagine that's when we hear the commotion outside or whatever? Or what do you think, GM?
Oh, for Arun the Mercy?
No, we already dealt with her, I thought. That was like prior.
Oh.
We'd already heard of that.
Oh, okay. Well, hold on.
Or do you want us to like actually decide on these missions in character?
I don't know. Well, you kind of are right there. You decided on your primary right there, right?
But these shadows, this isn't the first we've heard of them. Yaks encountered them. They're what killed Rakish.
You talking about the medic?
Yeah,
No,
Rakesh.
that was on a mission against Black Ridingale, a Panyar lieutenant. That was an undead.
Who? We had a specialist die at those stones, right?
Mm-mm.
No.
That's where we got.
Rakesh got wounded and took a dagger to his book, and it was like the next mission is when he died.
Okay.
But he
Yeah,
was
my bad.
he was there. He was there though at it.
He was there. He was
That's-
my guy for that.
That's
one.
when Blue Biting Cone pushed over the stone, and Yax did not like him for it. And then Yax and Belig both fought, like punched each other a lot until like Blue Biting Cone netted them and made them like touch noses or something.
That was a fun session, that's for sure. But
So what are we doing for our secondary? Says the quartermaster. He goes, we got to pick. We got enough for at least one more outing.
the shadows must be dealt with. What say you, Commander?
Yeah, if we can eliminate one enemy, at least chasing us to our objective. I can't see any other option. Again, make it happen, sir. He's like stops. He stands up and starts moving stuff on the big table on the battle table. Basically, the map that's on the screen. It's like, I don't have to tell you, any of you, how close we are to our goal. It's still many days away, even if we went straight there and didn't have to deal with all these blasted undead. He taps on the next location on the map. The fort most likely still holds, but last report showed that it is being assaulted directly. We're going to hopefully get a flanking maneuver when we get there. So we need to make sure we have at least the troops ready. So when we get there, we can hit them hard and hit them fast so we can keep moving. However, as you said, these threats and these opportunities are a once in a lifetime. And let's make it happen.
Rashi will like lean onto the table, placing both hands over the map, and he'll say, "Consider it done." And I guess
All right.
now I don't.
Yes, because I'm going to come back because there's some people that want to talk to you about the Shade mission, some of your troops. But I think that when the word finally spreads on camp later, what's going to be happening, that's when they're going to find out and they're going to come talk to you, Marshall, or both of you. But we're going to come back to that, okay?
Okay.
You do hear some stuff happening, so this will draw your attention. I was going to have someone play the quartermaster, Mike, but he'll get drawn in. There's a messenger that comes in. There's not commotion yet. Quartermaster gets called out. He's like, all right, I'll see what's going on. Are we done, Commander?
Yes.
All
Be
right.
about your business, gentlemen.
Apparently Shreya's trying to go through my quarters. I got to go see what she's trying to take. This is going to be pleasant. I hope she does get the groceries I just got. And she walks out. So yeah, Shreya's in the quartermaster's tent when he goes there. So we'll kind of flash over to quartermaster coming in, right? I don't want to play a bunch of parts, but you know what? Who wants to be the quartermaster for a second? I just need a yes man.
I'll be the quartermaster.
Okay. So, Quartermaster Morriston, as you walk in, Shreya has moved past the guards that are always posted. They don't move to stop her, even though they're supposed to stop anybody. They don't, because it's Shreya. And she's standing in the top of, her head's almost brushing the top of the tent. She has her, her gigantic polearm with her, with a blade that's supposed to be like, 18 inches long, but the tip is broken off, like a good 4 or 5 inches that she broke off in Blighter. When she got her, hand stabbed with the dagger. The dagger's on a chain around her neck. And she turns, she's like, Quartermaster.
Well, don't let me disturb you in your search.
I've come to ask for a favor.
Oh, is this what asking looks like? Okay.
She goes, I haven't taken anything.
You
But
haven't organized anything either.
she doesn't smile. I do. She's like, she points to the weapon. She's like, my weapon is broken. I'm going to reforge it. The Legionnaires brought you the body of the dead chosen, Asungra. I know you've used her body to make reliquaries, but not all parts will be used. I request a few pieces of her to help in the reforging of my weapon.
The first thing they teach us in quartermaster school is to use everything horn to hoof.
She goes, that's
If
good.
you can find something that we don't need and can't relic-wise or otherwise eat, then it's all yours.
Her eyebrow raises when you say eat, but then she turns. That might be the closest thing you get to like a smirk. It's just kind of like... And then she goes to the body you have laid in the case in the back, probably wrapped really well. You got dry ice on it. No, but whatever. She takes out her own blade and she starts cutting. And she's there for a few minutes. She's taking a lot. At last she comes out with the leg bones. So she carves the leg bones out of the corpse. The arm bones. She has the eyes, the tongue, and the liver.
She's not. I mean, this isn't just carving. She's full on like she's tearing this thing apart. She's deboning it.
Yeah, but she's doing it. She's doing it, with precision. So she's not making a big mess. But yeah, she is deboning, but she leaves like the skull and the ribs and spine. And so she comes up. Bundles it up. She's like, "Thank you. I'll be at the forge." And she goes to the smithy.
Right.
Let me just get this here. So she has her long pole arm. She has the bundle, right?
Yeah.
And she gets into the smithy. The smithy like steps back and she's like, "Pump the bilges." Or not the bilges. It's not the bilges. That's in the ship. She says, whatever it's called. The what? Billows.
Bellows.
I was not in the right. I was even in the right city, but yeah, right letter. He starts getting the fire hot. And she separates her broken blade from the long haft of her polearm. And she just takes the haft, she looks at it, she throws it outside onto the ground where two of the soldiers drop by like, whoa, what the? Just see Shreya's staff now hit the ground. And she just doesn't pay attention to it anymore. She takes the broken blade and she tosses it into the forge to begin melting it. And then she takes the dagger, Blighter's dagger, the one that almost killed her. And this is when people start to see it because like her silver sheen begins to wane a little bit. It goes down. But she takes the liver and she places the dagger on the liver. And then she starts to pull the dagger away. You can see like this black sticky web sticking between the blade and the liver. And it's like it's physical corruption. And it just pulls it out of the dagger until the dagger looks kind of normal compared to what it was. Now you got people like, whoa, check this out. Shreya's doing something. Okay. And this is when you guys might start hearing the commotion and start wandering. As she does that, though, the liver begins to shrivel and curdle, and it just kind of turns to ash and blows away. And then she takes the tongue out, which looks weird at this point, and she like crushes the tongue in her hands and begins to like soak the dagger with it, like rubs it all over the dagger, kind of coats it in the tongue juices. I know that sounds gross. And then she takes the whole thing and tosses it into the forge fire along with her broken blade. So those begin to melt. And this is where you're here now. Then she unwraps the leg bones and the arm bones, and she starts taking leather thongs and some metal, some metal pieces, like long, thin like files and things. And she starts to wrap and put things together. She takes an arm bone with a leg bone and connects them kind of side by side and kind of makes what looks like a long handle. And then she starts to make a second long handle on the other one. So she's got like two different like halves that are like, as long as the Chosen's leg would be. So by this point, the forge fire is hot, and all the metal from both her blade and the dagger have melted together. She takes extra steel, adds it in, and she's like working it like a pro. And the blacksmith's kind of like he's belittles, but he's like trying to watch what's going on. And she separates the metal into two pieces, and she begins to take them and hammer them out. So she's distinctly making two blades from this. And you guys watch. It takes a while. But now the whole camp is starting to come around. I mean, quartermaster's finding out what's going on. I'm sure spy master's there. Maybe even the lore keeper, I'm pretty sure, is present because she probably would want to record this. This is probably a momentous occasion of some sort. And so Marshall, maybe you're there. You tell me. But she makes these kind of long sword blades. It's not a spear blade, it's a sword blade. And she leaves like a pocket about this big in each one. Now, about where the hilt of the blade would be. The end where it connects to the haft. She cools the blades. And she begins to fix a blade to each of the the bone halves that she's made. So it looks like two long curved swords with handles that are about 3 times as long as a handle needs to be. Hope I'm not confusing anybody so far. People are like, oh, I see what she's doing. Oh, these things look great. There's comments going around or whatever. And then that little pocket that she left in each blade, she takes the final part of the Chosen. She takes one eye each and sticks the eyeball in the pocket of each blade. As it does, the whole blade kind of gives off the same silvery sheen that she has, which is returned by this point. And at the moment when she cools the swords off in the salt water or whatever it is, they hiss. She pulls them out, and she has basically like 2 really nicely crafted scimitars, but with hilts or handles that are like 3 times as long as they should be. And she stands up. She's like, looks up, like noticing the crowd for the first time, and she nods to everybody. And she's like, to the practice yard. And they're like, oh, and people start backing up to give her room. And she's just kind of testing the weight as she comes. She's like, 7 some feet tall. And these swords look like they're almost as long as, you, Marshall. And not quite that long. But she swings them like, 2 double sword swingings like this. Testing them, they hum nicely in the air. But then she like sticks the handles together and twists. And suddenly they lock. And she's got like a 6-foot long staff with a sword blade on each end. And she's got the Darth Maul, double-bladed, not lightsaber, but she's got the double-bladed sword, or whatever, what do you call it? Like a double-ended spear? You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You got a blade at each end. Not just a spear, but it's a spear on each end. And she begins to twirl it like a staff. People are like, oh, wow, that's amazing. And she goes faster. Then she stops. She separates them. Then they're 2 swords again. And she starts spinning them faster and faster. And then she looks, because the Legion's all the way around her. And she's like, who wants to spar? And she just waits. Any character, would they step up? There's a lot of Legionnaires. I mean, and any of the command staff, I don't care. I mean, Someone's got to be brave. Maybe no one's brave enough. I don't
The
know.
commander will. If he can be a command staff, the commander will just smile and just, yeah. He'll toss his cape over his shoulder and he'll pull out his, extremely thin, pointy sword and be like, yeah, I'm God.
Oh, you start seeing like bets being laid down like instantly. People are gambling their hard-earned ducats away. Now we can just narrate this, or we could actually roll.
He has no intention of winning. He just wants to not die instantly by being touched by something. He's there to show that he is willing to fight anybody, but at the same time, he knows his limits.
She seems to know that she's like, Commander, go for the kill. And she like charges at you. Now we can roll dice, or we can just narrate it. But you would probably roll as a specialist. You would roll 2 dice, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is not going to be either is murdered. This is just sparring.
So 2d6.
Yep.
3 and a 6.
Hey, raise the roof.
Oh, you strike clean.
Hey.
Yeah, she comes at you. She blades, and she's still getting used to it. And you catch her on the arm, and she's like,
It's just, and
they're
his
like, "Ooh!"
his arm is mostly still underneath his cape as he pokes, because it's literally a sword for poking. But he's like, he literally just goes, "Hiya!" Or have at thee. Have at thee. Yeah, have at thee sounds better. Have at thee then.
She spins,
And he's got his hand up.
and she's like, again, and she comes right back at you with 2 swords blazing.
Get her, Commander. Yeah. Wait, no.
Not good. Nope. Not
So
good that
4 or
time.
5, you guys kind of tie on this one because it's level of success, right? So she clashes into it, and you're just, the commander is as a whiz with his single sword. She, as a chosen of a Shrika, comes with whirlwind. It's like, the commander's awesome. People are like,
he's actually helping her as she's doing it. He's not actually continuing. He's not berating. He's like, change your weight on the left foot when you swing with that sword with the second hand. You have to separate your balance instead of combine it like you did with your pole arm. And then he just pokes again. He's not going for a real kill, despite what she said. He's going for flesh wounds. So
you
he's
got a little bit of
poking.
flesh wound on her, but she gets a couple on you as well this time as she makes the adjustments. Even though it doesn't seem like she's listening, but she does. And she's like, maybe you should go on mission. And she attacks again. Ooh. Well, they tied up. And it's people are like, someone are like, I'm sorry, I bet against the commander. Yeah, you're an idiot. But it's Shreya. And it's just, and she backs you into a corner, but you slip out, right? And then she steps back. She's like, once more. And she throws her swords together and connects them into a staff. And then she's like,
a short staff.
and she's got this reach. Did you just roll again?
Yep.
All right, hold on.
Rolling a 2 and a 5. That's the second one.
Man, I can't get a 6 to
Freya
save my
can't
life.
touch a 6. She's rolled what, like 24 dice and not 1 6.
Mm-mm. And she's and spins, but you manage to because it's a lot of weight, and she's getting used to her weapon. It's kind of like her last weapon, but it's not this part. But it's also completely new. I mean, what she's holding on to are the leg and arm bones, steel reinforced, of a previous chosen.
So is that another tie
Yeah.
in the last one?
Mm-hmm.
So what I'd like for that to happen then is as she comes swinging in, he clips the centerpiece so it pops back apart, and he rests the floral because it's a fancy ass little pokey sword. He rests the little pommel against her chin, despite the fact that's quite a stretch for him, and he'll just say, "Madam, it's always impressive to see a work of art in motion." And he shink, puts his sword away and bows his one arm.
Oh,
fancy
do you think you get one up on her? You guys tied here now, sir. But I feel like if the pommel's there, the blades are this far from you on this side, as she has twin blades, this would have been severing your head or stabbing your neck from both sides. But of course she doesn't carry through.
Yep, but
So-
he walks away. He starts to walk away after his bow, and he's doing this for some reason. Like he's scrunching his shoulders up, but he's got 2 cuts
Mm,
on both sides of his neck, right where his quarter ought to be if they actually were like deep.
okay. All right. Yeah.
So
That's,
she could have popped him off right there real easy. But he was like, we both held back. I didn't stab her through the bottom of the jaw into her brain pan, and she didn't cut my head off.
mm-hmm. She's
That
like,
would have been a bad version of a tie.
and when you bow, she bows to you like the most you've seen. Like it's not just a head bow, but it's a little bit of the shoulders too. And she turns and she's like, anyone else?
Commander's in the walks in the crowd holding his neck up. Going, that was so
I think
close."
at this point Rashi will come forward. And he'll kind of like look at the crowd and like, the starry-eyed rookies who were all looking on at the commander who just went toe-to-toe with the chosen. And then he'll look up at Shreya. He'll kind of puff his to feign some confidence. He still gets nervous in Shreya's presence, but
Sure.
Shreya, it appears as though your next match might not be quite as harmless, shall we say. We just received a distress call from the north. Our scouts say that one of the Cinder King's lieutenants might be up there, attacking fellow Legionnaires. They need our help.
Well, if that's the case. And she speaks a little bit louder. She's like, count me in on this one. I'd like to go along if you'll have me.
We'd have it no other way.
And some of the crowd's like I feel like getting pumped up here.
Yeah.
And she's like, let us kill some undead. And that's when there's some cheers. She doesn't say it like, let us kill some undead. She says it in her usual semi-monotone voice. But it's loud and it carries.
And there's like that little like rush of excitement that befalls everyone, and Rashi will kind of like bring it back down and start addressing. And they'll go, fellow Legionnaire, it is clear that we are in dark days. Our buried brothers and sisters are many. We have seen cities crumble and sown fields burn. The undead are at the doorstep, and this is like when the drums start coming in, the tribal drums, and at the throat of all humanity. This Cinder King would have our world burned, if only to rule over the ashes. He thinks humanity weak. He thinks us lesser, something to be scourged. But I tell you this. He has fatal miscalculation. We are the Legion, the shield that guards the realms of men. And now, like shields start banging, I'm sure, right?
Yeah.
Who felled the monstrous whaler? Who slew Lugos amidst the mountains up north?
The Legion.
Who drew...
Sorry.
No, I love it. I'm nerding out. Who drew blood of the very blighter herself? The Legion! Shreya! And it is this time we drive them back. They shall burn homes no more. They shall terrorize our people no more. They shall be turned back. Warriors of hope. Just to the north. We have received a signal. There are Legionnaires in danger. Legionnaires do not get left behind. Last vanguard of humanity. Tonight we make our stand. Tonight we show the dead what it means to be immortal. And he raises the Centauri banner. He had it the whole time.
Oh yeah, that's right, Scars. The Immortals, the Legion, Shreya, Commander. This is one wayward voice says. It's the Commander Steward. But no, they're just erupting. There's like, sign us up, send us, no, send us. And there's vying for position to be that vanguard to go.
Yes.
Now, we'll be picking, but not yet. I mean, but so yeah, people are riled up for it. Is that the end of the speech, sir?
Yeah. You know, it descends
Sounds
into,
good.
you know, a
Anarchy.
bunch of guys just broing out, you know?
Yeah. There's headbutting with each other and concussions. Hey, dog, what up? The dog just came in. And I'll just keg stands and drinking beer cans and crushing them on their heads. Real frat boy stuff. No, but yeah, there's cheering and everybody wants to go. So the camp gets rowdy and some start getting their gear, and all the specialists are kind of vying to go except for Bellig. We see actually Bellig. Let me make sure I got the right group again, because that's the graveyard. I'm looking in the wrong spot. Whoops.
Were you're looking for who's hurt?
Nope. I just had to find it. So, you see that Bellig is off to the side talking to Dame Hadriana Lopio from the Shattered Lions, and they're nodding to each other fiercely, and they're talking, and they've actually the Mercy Arun is talking with them too. There's 3 of them, so you kind of see this out of your side eye as you have like other, you have Joster wanting to go, and of course you gotta, I think he might have to go on the religious mission, but you're sorting it all out. Adorna's like, well, I'm not too hurt. Nugget, of course, wants to go killing. Yax. But Bellig comes over and nods to you, Marshall, and asks to step aside. He's like, can I see you?
Of course, Bellig. You've been with us since the beginning.
So
what is it?
Hadriana and Arun are with him. He's like, I know this assault mission's important and I'd love to go, but I need to ask you a favor. I need to demand that you send me on the mission of the Shades, the cleansing. You see, I don't know if you remember or not, but when we found Yax, it's when we let it out. It's my fault. Snipers, it was Adorna's fault, kind of, but it was all our faults. But you heard Arun tell you that it made a copy of her. We were calling it a shade, a shadow. Well, that day, one was made of me. And I've been itching. There's a piece of me that's missing. And it's out there. And I need to take it back. And Hadriana pushes her way up. She goes, me too. Please. Marshall, please. Send the Shattered Lions. Or at least send me. He goes, when we were out getting Ether Magnus, remember the alchemists? We came across them. It got me too. There's one of me out there. We need to go. Please.
You are both incredibly valuable Legionnaires. I've seen you prove your worth many times over. But because you're so valuable, you can't be squandered. Do you understand? I can send one of you or the other.
Well,
it is our place as Legionnaires. It is our duty to trust each other. And one of you must place their trust in the other.
That looks like.
Or I need all of you.
That looks like. Well, you always send 2 specialists. I'd be one of those. She's just. Is she a soldier? No, she's a rookie. She goes. She's one of the soldiers. Why could we not go together?
As I've told you, you are both invaluable. I need you both. But in places. I understand this mission is personal for you. But like I said, trust is what we need. So will it be you, Bellig? Will you shirk your responsibilities up north to follow chasing shadows, or will you let Adriana, a shining example of our rookies, take your place?
He goes, shoot, I'm not deciding this. I know I'm playing him, but he's like, that's your decision, Marshall. But I think it's a mistake that we both don't go. I think we need to be there. And this is when the Mercy pushes forward, and she's like, listen. She goes, I have one too. I need to go as well. She goes, if you let me go, I know a lot about these things. I feel like I can be a help. I know I'm not a Legionnaire. She goes, and I don't know what you have to do to become one, but I will oath swear myself to the Legion for the rest of my days if you allow me to go.
By that only circumstance will you be allowed to go. You must make your oaths in the light of the lore keeper?
Probably.
Would he be the guy, the officiator of oaths?
I
Would
don't
it be
know.
the commander?
Commander? What do you think? He's thinking. He's deep in thought. Sound waves?
I'm gonna go with what the marshal said in this case, because
Well, who makes the oath when they make an oath to the when they make an oath to the Legion?
yeah,
Do they make an oath to the commander,
no,
Lord
they
Keeper?
make an oath to the Legion. The Lord Keeper records it
Okay.
because the Lord Keeper has the book that will be constantly updated until there is no Legion left.
Okay. So
The lore, basically the idea behind it in the lore and the magic of the book is the book will stop having pages when there's no more Legionnaires.
perfect. So yeah, you'll have to make your oaths before the Lord Keeper. But Bellig, you understand, Yax has his shadow as well. We need both of you up north. We must make sure everybody returns safely. That we don't lose more of our legion.
I think you guys destroyed Yax's.
Yeah, you're right. We did. My bad.
No, that's fine. I just want to get that out there. Well, there's 3 heavies. Send Nucket. He's crazy.
Bucket's messed up. He's got a 2 and a level 1 harm.
Oh, he's still messed up?
Yeah, he had 2 level 2 harms and a level 1 harm last time. So, he got messed up.
So Bellig growls. He's like, so you're sending me on the assault?
And I like lock eyes with him and hold it for like a few, more than 5 seconds, like an
Sure.
uncomfortably long time.
Yep.
And he'll say, isn't that what we have you around for? When you first showed up, that is all you wanted.
Sorry.
Again,
Oh, sorry.
I know what you've gone through is personal. But the problems we face are so much larger than any one person. We've all sacrificed. We've all had to do things we didn't want to do. We've all had to rely on our fellow Legionnaires to get through. We must continue. For you, or what I just call he's a corporal, right? For you or a corporal, you must set an example. So many people around here look up to you. They whisper about you. I've heard it. The hero, Corporal Bellig. Live up to that name.
I think he just nods slowly and salutes, for dismissal. And then he turns to Hadriana and gets near. He like whispers something in her ear, and she like looks at him and just nods, and he nods back, and then he nods to Arun, and then he leaves to get himself ready.
I'll turn to Hadriana, and I'll go. You. Your squad mates will be excited to hear that I'm sending the Shattered Lions on their secondary mission. And you, Miss Lopio, are not allowed to return with failure. Understood? That was such a bad way to phrase that. God. But...
No. Just backtrack it. That never happened.
Yeah.
The last 5 seconds are gone.
You are not allowed. Failure is not an option. Am I understood?
As she takes a bite of an apple, she's like, "Yes, we will not fail. We cannot fail."
And before she turned away, I'll place a hand on her shoulder. Bellig is one of the best. He's right to put his trust in you. I'm sure of it. And with that, I'll turn her away and send her back towards wherever she was coming from.
And Arun follows her she's going to swear into the Legion.
Perfect.
So we'll add that. Let me actually, I think that's good. It's if this mission is successful, because if not, she'll probably be dead. I'll add as a reward, aside from the morale and the 10 points to the final score, you'll get a mercy.
And that won't count against the engagement roll, right?
Correct. That's because she is oath sworn to the Legion.
Awesome.
Yep. That's kind of what I was thinking about that. I'm like, well, I think she would want to go, but they're not going to send her because that will really hurt that chance. But I think that's fair. She's really wants the help, and she's asked twice now, and now it's affected her personally on top of what she passionately wants to do.
Yeah.
So that makes sense to me that she would oath swear to the Legion, and she does. We're not going to make a big role play of it, but she does before anybody. And Lord Keeper Colors gets it recorded. That is what I wanted to bring up for that scene. That went pretty well. Poor Bellig. So
Sorry, I need everybody up north. That is
well, yeah, you can have 3 specialists on this mission, but taking 2 heavies is probably a pretty good idea. And we'll have to figure out that you were a secondary mission since you don't have a medic. I think you need the officer for that.
Yeah, we need Joster on that one, which means Adorna's going with Yax and Bellig.
Oh my goodness.
That is a power trio. That is a trio to be trifled with.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And we need we need a third. One of you might have to play 2 of them, so I don't have to play them because I can't. Or they just gonna sit in the background, right?
How many specialists am I getting to kill?
Oh, that's right. All right, I'm gonna start recording. I think it's time. I'm sorry. Go ahead. What are you gonna say, Marshall?
Oh, I was just gonna start talking about who we play. So,
we also
Marshall's one that decides.
Do you want to ask the intel questions the commander had? I'll answer them, and then we'll do who's going on the mission, who's leading the mission, and what your loads are, and then we'll be ready for the engagement.
Sounds good to me.
So I know we did this off screen, but I'll answer on screen so we have it on here. Let me go back into our chat here.
What useful item to bring?
I did a couple because I think it gives. Oh,
that's the 0 intel question.
So what your scouts will say is there's a lot of soldiers. A siege weapon would be good, and you have one. And I think that's a bonus on assault engagement rolls, right?
I believe so.
Heavily armed and armored, go heavy. Bring all the thunder. And reliquaries, because that ties into the second question.
Second question was, which infamous or lieutenant might we face on this mission?
And they're like, we don't know who's all there, but there's Black Oak Knights, who of course are still living. They're not undead. But there's been some hounds and some gaunts, some of the level ones, but the one that's leading them is a Black Oak Knight by the name of Xenia, the Sable Arrow. She is Render's primary scout. He's got 3 lieutenants, and they're all Black Oak Knights. A couple of his infamous are undead, but all of his lieutenants are living Black Oak Knights. And she, like I said, is a primary scout, and she likes to feather the opponents, well, with feathered arrows. So, she deadly. Real deadly. They haven't seen her, but they've seen her arrows, and they've seen the dead. So, Tom Scosey figures coming back. Did he hear all that? I guess he read it earlier.
Yeah, all of the stuff about what we need to bring and who to expect.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
There we go. So now it's time to choose our squad and specialists. And I'll write them down. And then who's leading it?
Okay, so
Shreya pulls up. She's like, who's in charge?
yeah, it is weird that she's not in charge, but I guess she's more of just like the artillery more so than she is the general, right?
She's like an allied commander of her own unit.
I love it.
Well, yes. Now, are you going to
She's
let...
like a tank.
You don't have any...
The tank can't be in charge of the troops.
You have no Panyar specialist either, but are you letting a Panyar lead? It is a special mission.
I mean, that is the thing they're supposed to do, right?
It needs to lead?
Yes.
Must have a Panyar lead the missions or take -1 to engagement.
Then blue biting cone.
Is Yax going on this mission who hates blue biting cone?
Yes. Blue biting cone. He is incredibly old, right?
Mm-hmm.
In his younger years, he knew the forests well. He stayed out here. He spent much of his younger years when he was working as just a wee whittler, before being a master artisan. Yeah, he spent out in the the Wormwood Forest, the Talgon Forest. So I guess is that even something we can do? Can we make a soldier?
Yeah.
Lead. Okay.
It just might cause a little bit of feather ruffling, which is part of the. So we got Shreya, we got Yax, Bellig, and Adorna, and we got the Star Vipers.
Star Vipers. Yep.
All right. So you hear Yax groans audibly, purposefully loud when the marshal says who the leader is for this.
It's come to my attention that blue biting cone, you're from these parts. Back when I was a wee lad. Yeah. Okay. I'm not gonna just roll it out with myself. I don't know what I was doing.
I'm listening. I'm just getting to the engagement roll page and listening. I don't care. I've had to roll.
Hey, me. I hate me.
Hey, we are role playing. You guys have fun with it. I don't care. Actually, lay down.
So, while he gets engagement ready, do we want to? I mean, I got to be blue biting cone unless you've been practicing
obviously.
your old man.
I have not.
Which means you get 2 specialists. You're gonna take Adorna,
Oh boy.
and then do you want Bellig or do you want Yax?
Look at Bellig. I think Bellig was the one that.
I feel like if he plays Yax, then you can play Blue Biting Cone and have a really good standoff with each other. But that's just my.
Yeah, or else I'm just
suggestion.
gonna be like, just yelling at myself. So yeah,
Hey,
you're
I guess
Yax
I have
and
to.
Adorna.
Yax is the heavier hitter and Bellig is the defender, I think. That's kind of how
Yax is easy. You just
Bellig's
gotta say,
also kind of messed up comparatively still because he's got that trauma.
yeah.
It's
He's
better if I
bad.
don't have someone with 1 trauma on him.
Yeah,
I'm
Yax,
gonna
you
give
just
him-
gotta say hail, right?
Yep, hail.
Yep.
And Adorna, you just gotta be sexy. Well, that's usually her character when I use her as NPCs in other campaigns. She's a sexy sniper. She can be. Why not? Why not?
Okay, I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, yep. But that's also Soundwave's playing that. And you're playing Bellig and Blue Biting.
Yep.
And then if next time we have our other guys with us, they will just get assigned out one of those or whatever. We'll find out. We'll see who's still alive. All right.
Who lives, who dies, and who tells their story.
I think we need to pick load for those that you're playing. So we got Blue Biting. And we have Bellig, Adorna, and Yax. Never put a picture in for him. I use him so much, I should get art done for him, you know? So tell me who's going first and what load you're picking, and I'll just put it on screen.
Since this is an assault, I think the heavy will go heavy.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the fine wrecking kit, fine tower shield, a fine heavy weapon, and flare guns.
What heavy weapon does Yax wield?
I don't
It might
think
be
we ever
marked.
come up-
I think he was a flail guy.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Large, silvery, spiked flail.
When I originally made him in my Pathfinder campaign, that's when he originally came to be. I gave him an elven curve blade and gave him an exotic weapon feat to use it. Because there was something about, I can't remember now, but I could really amp up the damage output with it.
Yeah,
He was a paladin.
tricks.
He was a full-plated paladin that moved 20 feet around. But when he got to the battle finally, he just murdered everything. It just took him 3 rounds to get there. Because all his friends would run past him. Anyway, sorry.
So give him heavy and the reliquary marked off.
So his 2 load will be reliquary. Okay. Yeah, he don't care. He's not going to use a gun. He's just going to go right in.
Hey, he's got a flare gun if he needs it.
Sure. Tenacious. Okay, so that's Yax. Who's next? Who's the next?
Bellig,
Bellig.
who's heavy.
Okay.
He's stacked out to the 9s. He's got everything he could ever need. Heavy plate, a fine wrecking kit, a fine tower shield. He is heavy weapon. He's ready to go.
All right.
With him, I guess we can take a reliquary without having to mark a use of reliquaries.
Correct.
Or no? Okay, yeah, he'll take a
It just
reliquary.
it costs your 2 load though because it's got 2 dots.
Yeah. If you're if you have the trait that you always have one, it's just already marked off regardless.
Yeah, that's not
It
it.
doesn't count against you.
So he'll take a reliquary, and that'll take up his load.
Yep.
His 2 utility.
Adorno's going to go heavy as well, so she can have both sets of weapons. So she has 2 fine pistols and a fine long rifle and fine armor, and of course reliquary because we need it.
So
That way she's got if something gets in close, she doesn't have to pretend to be jumping around to shoot something. She can shoot something and then move. Just get back.
She's just not as fast as she would like to be.
Yep, she's just not quite or faster.
She's
But
got
she's loaded to bear.
black shot and regular ammo to go with.
Yep. She's quite prepared.
That's right. Blue biting cone's a grenadier. Oh boy. All right, so he's going heavy. Looks like, huh?
See.
Well, actually, maybe that's marked from last time. What's blue biting doing?
Blue biting is going heavy as well.
Okay. What's his 2 load here? Because he gets to have, I think it looks like he gets to have a grenade.
So
Or-
he gets
yeah.
a grenade for free, and he gets +1
Or
utility
explosive charges.
because he's going heavy.
I get what? Because I'm going
Actually,
heavy?
no. You get +3 utilities. Because
Yeah,
you get
I get
+1 for
+3.
heavy and +2 for
So
normal.
you get 5 boxes to mark off total.
So I took supplies, a soldier's kit, a reliquary, which takes 2, and then oil.
Well, one of them, and also he gets to bring a grenade for 1 load or explosive charges for 2 load as part of your light load. Does that mean he
Well,
does?
I mean, heavy includes all normal items
It's true.
and all light items, so I'd imagine he gets to take.
Yeah, I guess you get to write one in. I guess you get to click another box.
Yeah, he'll take 1 grenade.
That's a good idea. I feel like that would give you potency in an attack. Something right about there. All right.
It'd make boom.
So we got load. All right. And Blue Biden's in charge, and I guess now it is the engagement roll. I feel like we're going to get this battle started and have a really good cliffhanger. And then, hey, next time, guys, surprise, this is what's going on. I'd like to thank everybody who stopped out tonight while we're in this little spot here. There seems to be a few people in the audience, and thank you for joining us. We got a little bit of a late start, and we're down a little bit of cast members, but we're still having a good time. We're still here, and thank you for being here. Marshall, is it time?
Yeah. Okay, so are all on the mission oath-sworn to the Legion? They are.
Mhm.
If Shreya is. Shreya's oath-sworn.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think anybody has the balls to make her do the oath, but you know, for all intents and purposes, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to do that, yeah.
Did the commander spend 1 intel to give you foresight and info? He did, right?
He hasn't had intel for a while. Commander, you didn't spend intel, did you? He's reading.
No, I didn't have any.
Okay. Veteran. Is everyone on the mission a specialist or soldier? No. But like most of them, honestly, a majority, but it's not good enough. Does any Legionnaire distrust the leadership or not fear them enough to obey orders on the battlefield? Does any Legionnaire distrust the leadership?
Well, I know
That you could make an argument for, I think.
I feel like Bellig.
I wouldn't say so, but
I feel like right now Yax is upset because Blue Biting Cone is in charge, and Bellig is upset because he is not. He's on this mission when he should be on the other.
okay.
What's the morale? What's the morale right now?
8. So it's high.
Oh, hi, Miro. We squeaked by yet again.
I'm not going to penalize you, but I feel like it should. Bellig's still obeying and going along, even though you never know what he might do. Who knows? But okay, we're good.
Not a problem yet. Are required specialists or equipment not on the mission? No, but we have the required specialists. There was no required equipment. Now, did the quartermaster equip the soldiers with black shot?
Let's go to that. Black shot.
I think we have black shot, like at least a couple uses.
We have 4, so I think you guys want black shot.
Yeah, send it.
All right, everybody
So
gets.
everyone mark black shot on their sheets.
Yes,
That's good. That ups your scale, right?
it can give you potency against undead, but yeah, that up your effect.
So is that extra black shot for everybody, or is that free, or?
Free black shot.
All right, so
Yes, and you would add a
The
utility slot. We have to try to remember that the other 4 have it too, unless you're gonna mark everybody's, but that's up to you.
No. Okay. So that's a nice little bonus we got there. Thanks, quartermaster.
Yeah, that's fine. Don't get killed.
Is any Legionnaires starting the mission wounded? Not that I know of. I know Bellig is not. Adorn is not.
nope. She just has 1 point of corruption.
So yeah, another reason you
Chaos
couldn't
is
bring
not.
Nugget. So we're all good. There's no minus D there.
Yeah,
And we're bringing Shreya, which gives us another D on the engagement, right?
Does it say that anywhere? 'Cause I don't think so.
You said it.
When?
I'll find it.
All right. What do you have right now? You have
2.
so Shreya would give you 3 dice.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm feeling good. I'm feeling generous. So I will say, even if whether I said it before or not, I'll say yes because she is Shreya. Not only is Shreya coming, she's riding her gigantic black horse.
Here it is in the Discord. That last line.
I don't believe it. I deny everything. No. Yeah, it's there. I wrote that. It looks like me. It looks like my handwriting. So you took, let's see, black shot. I'm going to put that in their engagement with Shrey pregnant. Present. Uh-oh. Shrey is pregnant. Oh, man, watch out. Okay.
This was foreshadowed.
This was the commander. I just slipped in. Wait. Dang it, Lucas. Watch what you're saying. She's on her enormous black horse with the blazing blue eyes. And she doesn't ride out front, but she rides close out front, but off to the side as you guys make your way deeper into Talgon Forest.
You want that roll?
I'm ready for that roll, sir.
Okay, the real question is 1 or 2 6s?
Oh, risky position.
Good thing Shreya came, right?
So let me set the scene. You guys can kind of tell me. It's going to be mid-afternoon. There's light in the forest, but it's dark because there's a huge canopy of old trees overhead. So there's a lot of shade, but you can still see clear for a good few hundred paces. But well, you could if you didn't have to go around trees, right? You don't see as far as you like because of the tree trunks themselves, not because of the lack of light. It's not
Natural barrier.
Yeah, you go deep into the forest in midday, thick, tall trees. As you start to get closer to where the battle would be happening, you can hear some things in the distance, but you find various undead scattered along the way. Some have been killed by swords and gunshots, but some have been ripped apart as if by beasts or animals. You'll see lurking shapes in the distance, large monstrosities that prowl in the trees, creep along the ground, slither down in between the rocks. Something's haunting me right here. I have to get off that music. Something's in my ears. And there's things that watch you from a distance, you know, with a malice eyeball. But you come not too long to the location as it opens up into a large clearing. Let's say you're coming from the south. To the east, so it's like a large clearing, so it kind of gets bright here, even though it looks horrific, the scene that lays out before you.
Mm-hmm.
It is my dog. Foxy, quiet. Go upstairs. Dang dog. Go upstairs. There you go. Go upstairs. Yelling at my dog on stream. That's great. Why she's down here just whining. Anyway, to the right, you see like a hillside that's in this forest, right? A hillside goes up. At its base is a decrepit old cabin. Looks like it's fallen apart. It doesn't have a door. There's no shutters in the windows. It's probably big enough for a few people. Real small. But in the hillside itself is a large kind of cavern dug out. Most likely in this case, a root cellar where you can keep stuff cold and dry, cool and dry. To keep your vegetables and your fruit and sometimes your meat, you know, from spoiling.
Yeah.
Bodies are piled around the entrance. Most of them look like black oak knights. Gaunts, which are rotters of render. But a couple look like legionnaires, and several more look like civilians. A few of the black oak knight horses also scatter around the area. But these bodies are almost built up like a wall or a barricade around the entrance to this root cellar. Many black-hafted, black-fletched arrows pierce the bodies and the hillside around this hole. Looking to the left, or your west, you can definitely see that's the advancing position of the Black Oak Knights themselves, as you can smell and see them just inside the shadows of the forest, of this clearing. Several trees have been blasted apart by gunfire on this end. The killing field itself, this clearing, is littered with bodies of regular townsfolk, undead, Black Oak Knights, their horses, and a couple of Legionnaires. But there are a few Legionnaires that, as you come in from the south, you're kind of deciding where do you want to go. Do you want to direct your assault to the left, right at them? Maybe you want to head over to the right, to the east, and join whatever Legionnaires are holed up in the root cellar over there. Obviously, they got to be in there. It's the cabin. You could be able to see them. But there's a few Legionnaires standing in the clearing. 3 or 4. There's 4 of them. But they're all hunched over and kind of like... And as you kind of ride close to the clearing, the Legionnaires who are just standing there in the middle of this killing field, not holding weapons, their arms hanging by their sides, they all turn and look at you because they've sensed you. And they look at you with dead, white eyes. Big, huge, meaty bites taken out of their necks or arms. And they're definitely gaunts or zombies of sorts. And these former Legionnaires, one a Panyar, a couple Bartons, and maybe a Zemyati, begin to slunk their way slowly towards you. This is your risky position. What do you guys do?
Well, I believe somebody might want to fire upon them. That's my closest to sexy voice I'm going for. That's it. It's done.
I like her.
Wait! Remain quiet. Remain still. Let us draw them into the shadows and deal with them quietly so as not to arouse the rest.
Dorna raises an eyebrow and shrugs and starts climbing a tree.
He'll wait for one of the heavies to climb a tree and then extend an arm because he's not getting up by himself. And obviously that's going to be Bellig because I don't think he'd ask Yox. Not yet. Hasn't broken the ice. So once Bellig will like get up in a tree, he'll hold out a hand to like get pulled up into the tree as well. And everyone will
So you're gonna get
prepare an ambush?
all right.
Because you said that like these aren't fast zombies. They're just kind of like you said slunking was the word, hobbling.
Yeah, they're like, and the lower undead are controlled by the upper undead, but these don't look like they're controlled. They just look like they sense living flesh, and they've turned. And you can hear horses neighing and whickering from the west, and the clank of armor, and like an order shout like, "Prepare again for a charge!" And they're not paying attention. They don't notice that you guys have arrived on scene. So you got, the cavalry's going to be coming in from the west against whatever's on the east. And these zombies that are in the middle are just slunking off to the south towards you. They probably don't care about them. No one's controlling them.
Yeah. So draw them into the forest nearby and just ambush them. Try to deal with them quietly.
Okay.
So I imagine that's more of the heavies as they come in underneath. The heavies drop down and just try to smash them both at the same time.
You want to just have the 2 heavies work as a group action?
Sounds
That's
good
a
to me.
good idea to me.
Good old skirmish.
Dornell's going to stay in a tree to snipe when she needs to, right? But she's not going to take part because she really only carries guns.
Yep, she only has a rifle.
Do maybe a couple of the other rookies stay on the ground to kind of draw them in, like back up?
Yeah.
But if they're not taking part
Oh no!
Blue Biting comes on the ground like a killdeer, just pretending to be wounded. He's just like, I can't crawl away.
Whoa,
Hi,
it's me.
Grandma! What big teeth you have!
I feel like just the heavies just landing on these things would be enough.
There's
Just
only
belly
4 of
flop.
them. So Shreya, who's parked her horse in the back, she stays silent. She hasn't said anything. And she's just like, what a foul misuse of their corpses. Give them mercy. She stands by, but she doesn't do anything. She She says that, but she's not looking at any of you. She's looking to the west and just kind of staring. And
She knows.
you catch her take a sharp intake of breath at one point. It's kind of like, but it's hardly noticeable because she's so subtle. But one or like maybe Blue Biting notices it, maybe Adorna, and like she just like something's on her mind. She sensed something, and she starts to back her horse up into the thicket a little bit more. Anyway, what role are you guys gonna do? Is it skirmish?
I'm gonna do skirmish. Yeah,
This is skirmish.
Are
this
you
is skirmish.
group actioning that together?
Yep. Is somebody actually playing Bellic?
Yeah, I'm Bellic.
Okay.
I feel like that would
So
be.
I'll lead.
There's always
I'll let you got a special thing for leading.
Sorry?
I said I'll lead unless you got a special thing
Yeah, go for it.
for leading. All right. So what's my effect and position on my little scale?
risky standard.
Risky standard. I
think
think I
you're-
like that as a good starting point.
I feel like that's a good. I think your scale matches up with 2 big heavies versus 4, rookie soldier undead, like just standard.
Robbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I dig it. So risky standard.
And
No bonus
Yax
die.
is leading it.
Yeah, locks, yaks.
5.
5.
Risky standard.
Mm-hmm.
Risky standard.
Some fighters. Do you guys have?
Just get.
Okay, go ahead. What?
I said we just get things done. We don't do it really well, but we just get it done.
The risk here is, it doesn't. You guys don't get hurt as you dispatch 2 of them fairly quickly. But it will put 2 ticks on a clock, on an alert clock, unless you resist it. It doesn't fill the clock, but it's noise. It's a little noisier than you meant it to be, as you hop down on these low branches with your full armor, crunching 2 of them underfoot, and then stepping up to fight these other 2.
Yep. I will resist.
Oh, he's going to resist that with his, I believe, prowess.
Prowess.
Prowess resist. He resists. Fool. Yep. Nope. It's a lot quieter.
What happens? He lands on one directly, like feet on shoulders, just mushing in the ground, and just literally clocks the other one with his shield when it starts to make a sound. So it starts to open, and it just shoves the edge of his shield in its mouth for a few seconds until it stops to making noise and pulls it back, ready to attack.
Alrighty.
It's like he meant to do all this. It didn't just happen to land this way.
It's a little stressful, but not too bad. How are you gonna dispatch you guys gonna finish them off?
Yes.
Same thing. You're still.
Yeah, it's just one big swoop of the hammer and flail.
I feel like at this point because there's noise coming from the west, and you've handled it so quietly. I feel like it's gone to controlled standard.
Okay. I like that.
I'll lead this one if you want.
Go ahead.
So
Okay.
yeah.
And like the 2 that we didn't get will start like turning, and as they like lock eyes with Yax, you'll see like one of their heads just go like splattering against the nearby tree as a giant hammer comes sliding across.
Giant marble hammer.
Yeah. And you said controlled standard?
Yeah.
Controlled standard.
Yep. Oh, critical. Oh, there's all the good ones. So crit and that.
Yeah, we're gonna roll these out now so we don't have them later.
Yeah, that does it. You can tell me how you finish those guys off because
Like they'll both look over and they'll see Yax, and I think Yax will just watch as like the hammer will come across and smash one of their heads, and as the one turns to look back at the other one who just got killed, the flail will come around and it's just the 2 bodies will like smack together, and they'll both like fall down sitting back to back on the ground.
oh, so
But then they'll
fun.
get up and dig their own graves, and they'll bury themselves as well.
Well, yeah, they were Legionnaires after all. They respect. Damn. And it remains quiet in the woods.
Such a waste of a crit, man. Cleaning up 2 rotters.
It was dramatic looking though, because we both land on these 2 guys, and just we just both look up and they just fall. Bam. Like magic.
All right. So Shreya's like, she's like still looking off, and she's like, "Good work. There is more danger here than I anticipated. You need to hurry."
Hurry! I think we should wait.
Very well.
Once they charge and form the front line, we come in from behind like a hammer on an anvil and smash them in the back, split their force, divide, conquer.
She says she like looks down at Blue Body. She's like, "Are you going to be fast? They'll be on horses, and you're on foot."
I might look old, but I'm as slow as I look.
Go, because I am.
Ah, yeah.
And I am.
And I
Have a
am.
horse, and I do not.
But we are lucky enough to have 2 of our finest warriors. Even though one of them might be a little ornery, we also have, well, you. Not to mention the sexy one.
Rock hits you in the back of the head.
I knew they were a match made in heaven, these 2. Shreya's like, "I can help with the charge, but you might want me to hold back. It's up to you."
You know best. You make yourself known when you know it is right.
He goes, "If Xenia shows up, she will. You gotta watch your backs. I doubt she's gonna charge with them, but she might."
And you shall be the ace up our sleeve to counter the ace up their sleeve.
And then you hear a whip crack, and it's like, ah, and suddenly you hear horse hooves starting to ramp up from the west. And you expect a large banner of Black Oak Knights, but when you see like the 6 that come out of the woods, you're like, well, that's not that much. But then you remember to look across the killing field, and you see that there's another 6 or 8 that are dead. And they were a larger squad at one point. You know, and so was the Legionnaire squad that was here. As also, there are civilians still, as you guys take that in, that are also dead and strewn across. Blue Biting, you ready to lead the charge? As these horses come out, 6 of them. There seems to be like a captain among them leading the charge with the 5 following. But you guys take a quick breath or an intake of shock as you see that each one, as they ride with their swords up and their shields, they got their shield arm in front of them, and tied to the front of their shield is a living human. A woman, a man, maybe an older child. But they ride ahead with meat shields, screaming in their advance. What do you guys do? Yeah.
Once they waiting until they crash into the wall, right?
They're gonna,
And they kind of stop, right?
well, they're gonna.
Because there's that wall of corpses, right?
Yeah, it's not huge. It's probably like chest high, and maybe like 6-7 feet. Kind of curves around the entrance, right?
Okay.
It's kind of like a sand.
But
Like, think of a sandbag, like in the military where they get
Yeah.
behind. Kind of like that.
But like enough, like that's the horse isn't going to be able to make it through that, right?
They don't know. You don't know. They're charging.
Okay.
They're going to charge up this slight hill and try to just. They're trying to do something.
Shove
well,
through.
Once they charge, leave Adorna back. Shreya is free to do as she sees fit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And everyone else is leading the charge. And I think what it looks like is like Blue Biting Cone is up front, obviously, and he'll raise his weapon into the air. Charge! And he'll begin like hobbling forth, and you see everyone go running past him, right?
Okay. They are going to. The Black Oak Knights are charging with these humans in front of them. Well, they're human too. They're living. The Black Oak Knights. They are not undead. And they charge on these black horses that are. Yeah, they're nasty. Now the history of this is when Render was a chosen. These were the men and women that followed him. These were his army, and when he became broken, they decided to still follow him, even in undeath. They'd switch sides willingly because they were so loyal to him. So even though they live, they used to fight against the undead. Now they fight for the undead, and now they have living human meat shields in front of them as they charge up this hill. They take little notice behind them as their goal is clear. A gunshot rings out from within that cave, bouncing off like the helmet of one, missing its intended target. As they charge up, a couple throw their people forward, screaming onto the hole for confusion and demoralizing. And maybe they don't have swords, they got lances at this point. That'd probably make more sense. And they're trying to spear into the hole. And they're just trying to jab, 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 trying to get into this root cellar, whatever. And then you guys come charging. It takes you a minute to cross. How are you guys going to get there quickly? I mean, I feel like that could be a maneuver check of some sort. But you tell me what you're doing to close the ground and make an attack.
Well, Adorno would like to help them close the gap by pushing herself to activate her sharpshooter ability. Unleash a barrage of rapid fire to suppress the enemy.
So it makes basically slow them down.
Just basically slow them right when they hit, right when the trigger point is. That's when they start getting a hail of gunfire, somehow rapid fire, because that's just how badass she is from behind. So that would be marking 2 stress. But I get
Are you shooting?
Shooting, of course.
I feel like there's a lot of them. They got scale on you. So it's gonna be controlled, but it's gonna be limited because there's a lot of them.
I'm going to burn a point of black shot to offset some of that.
Well, actually, before you do, black shot is potent against undead, and they are not undead.
Oh, they're not
Oh,
undead.
shoot. Yeah,
You're right.
layers.
Okay, that's still fun. So what was it?
But if you do see some undead, obviously that's what you want. But so you're gonna be controlled limited, where you can trade position for effect if you want to bump it like risky standard or.
Controlled limited. I'm going to stick with controlled limited because when I attack from hiding or spring a trap, I get +1 die, and I'm pushing myself, so it gives me an extra 2 die.
Okay.
So I'm banking on something better coming up than a 3.
So there's no devil's
So here we
bargain
go.
since
I'm
you're
going to look
pushing.
this way.
Okay.
Yep, I'm going to look over here and watch the 1s. No, there's the 6. No, I'm just kidding.
Say I only see.
Push button.
It is a 6.
I forgot the 2 bonus die.
Well, give them to us. That could be a
Okay.
crit.
It is a crit. So you would have stopped like 3 of the 6, like bam, bam, bam. But she's on point, and she hits each one of them, or makes them like, and they can't swing their meat shields around, or even their shields, to they're hurting from behind. So they all have to kind of wheel their horses and stop the charge, and they're kind of like they're rearing up because they want to go forward. And there's gunfire coming from that root cellar. Now there's gunfire coming from. So they were heading east. Now there's gunfire coming from their south. From their like southeast, but from the south at them. So they're kind of they kind of stop and they're confused. So they don't charge in against their intended target. They stop there, and I think that leaves. I'm doing this because I think it's not really a setup action. It was to hinder them, right?
Correct. It was a setup, but it was a setup out of setup. Yeah, it's not the setup action. It's just me setting up the fact that they couldn't catch up on foot naturally. So I made them stop.
Yep, and it saves them a roll for like maneuvering, so they can go right into the assault. So it's still going to be. But you know what? I think you have the control. I feel like you still have control right now because you threw them off guard. So you're going to go into whatever. I'm assuming you're going to go shoot or skirmish. Probably skirmish, but you tell me. Blue biting. I'm assuming someone's leading an action. I'm assuming a lot of stuff. We got time for one or two more rolls here, and then we're going to.
I think blue biting cone, he led charge, but he's not leading this action. Everyone's him. And I think it's Bellig who will get there first. And just as blue biting cone had said before, divide and conquer. He's like, obviously there's 2 in the middle if there's 6 of them, right? He's going to go for the left one in the middle and just try to like absolutely take him out. He wants to pull his big hammer out, and he's going to aim for the horse on an upswing, like hitting it below in the stomach, and just like the Team Rocket this.
So you guys are, if you're doing a group action, you guys are threat 2 as a group and scale 2. They are also threat 2 and scale 2. So you guys are even keel. But they are also on horses. But the horses are confused at this point, so I'm not going to do anything with that. So I'm going to give you guys even Steven. You're going to be controlled standard with your assault.
What would happen? What would happen if their threat was decreased? How would that change things?
They would do less damage back at you if you don't roll a 6. So if they were like threat 1, you get level 1 harms. 1 rookie would die, as opposed to 2 rookies dying and level 2 harms for anybody being played.
Yep. Not worried about that. Okay. Yeah, I just want to lead this group action, go up and just start tearing into them from the center, split them in half.
So someone, and I can roll for the rookies. Someone needs to roll a single die for the rookies, and then someone needs. Dan, are you going to participate as Yax?
Yep. Yeah. Initial charge, the first one. He led the last one, and we were both been successful. So if he was the first one to get there, he's going to just follow his lead and just pile in, and then we'll figure out how to separate them and keep them separated.
So you two.
Because in his mind, what they're going to do is the 2 heavies are going to hit somewhere near the center, and they're just going to turn back to back and just work their way out.
Yeah.
While everyone else hits from wherever they can get.
Okay.
He feels like he's a Billy Badass right now.
No, I mean
it's been working, and that's weird. So yeah, as he hits the line, he's just like, "Hail, fools!" Hail.
I feel like the alert clock is full. That's irrelevant at this point. So my devil's bargain is.
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna.
My devil's bargain for you is I can tick 1 clock. I have 2 4 clocks on the side that are hidden here. I have one that is a new threat clock, and I have another one called a wilderness clock. I will do a devil's bargain that either each clock takes 1 tick, or 1 clock, one or the other, takes 2 ticks. If you want to.
Not interested.
Not interested?
No, that sounds scary.
We're gonna ride it out tonight. Next time, maybe.
Oh.
Yeah. Can I trade? You said this is controlled standard.
Yeah.
Can I trade position for effect and say what I want to do is hit this horse in the back and send him through the wall to make like a lane that our rookies could run inside the cave?
Okay. So you're going to make it risky great?
Yes.
Or do you want to make it desperate extreme? Just remember group action. Huh?
Desperate like the power gamer in me says desperate extreme because we're gonna throw like 8 dice down on the table right here, but I'm gonna stay with risky great.
Risky great.
Risky great.
Risky great. It becomes yeah, you do. That is a risk to do that to try to get them through. So Do you want me to roll the dice for the rookie, or do one of you guys want to roll it?
You can roll the rookie dice. It'll make you feel like you're playing a part.
Yeah.
I already got our 6, so this is all just gravy.
Oh man, I almost had another 6.
2 6s and a 5. There is no stress because no one has failed. Everything goes off the way it does. That's great. So
That's
it's
great.
3 ticks on the clock against these guys. That's actually really good.
Just slam into them. Just the two heavies. Just they're one of them is like a helicopter blade over his head as he just rolls into this guy.
Now remember, they all have living.
Ew.
They all have living people. So do you? It's collider damage. It happens. Whatever happens. Or are you carving them up in a way to try to preserve the human life?
I'm going for the horse.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, horse as well. I mean, like,
they're
I'll
more
send him
scary on the
tumbling.
horse.
Okay.
I can deal with shields and stuff once they're on the ground.
I think you club the horses' heads or necks, and these horses they die, they fall. The 2 riders fall with them. The people screaming, rolling off to the side, and then you're easy to bring your flail and your hammers down on top of the Black Oak Knights as they try to get their shield for you to throw it up, but they can't protect themselves as the 2 heavies make paste out of 2 of these, and then the rookies as they try to cleave through the middle. A couple of them, maybe Blue Biting included, I don't know, managed to tear down a 3rd horse and take out another Black Oak Knight as they rush through the gap. So one horse, as you split and divide, one horse backs up and comes around the lane from the back, and the rookies just charge right into him and just take him down. People are probably getting hurt.
Knives.
They might die, you don't know, but your people, the heavies, have not killed any civvies so far. I mean, you're not purposely trying to kill them, I understand that. There is going to be some collateral damage, possibly, but I'm not going to get gruesome about it.
Yeah. They are also strapped to a shield in some fashion that probably isn't non-painful in the first place if they weren't screaming.
Mm-hmm. They're terrified. Now, you do recall that Render moved his way north through East and West Lake, burning them both. So he had 2 very large villages to plunder. It's really easy to see that he could have taken a lot of living people with him.
Yep.
That's the way Render rolls, y'all. He's gross. Just wait till you meet him at some point. Where are we at? 10:20? Oh, man. Maybe we can do one more roll to get in. So you got 3 Black Oak Knights. They're trying to wheel around and get control. The rookies are charging through to go into the hole. The 2 heavies are left on the battlefield. Your snipers in the trees back there. And Shreya is waiting underneath Adorna's tree. And what's Adorna doing? Is she just watching? Or is she like...
She's waiting for another shot. And if she has a shot, she'll take it.
So you suddenly hear like Shreya's horse just like... And it's like stomping angrily. And she's like, whoa, whoa. And it's just like angry. It's mad. She's like, I know, boy. I know. He's here. But we're going to wait. And then the drill goes off. So that seemed like a really good cliffhanger right there, but I want to do... I probably should stop there. Yep. Yep. So the heavies are in the field. Yax and Bellig are going to, be the Bash Brothers from Mighty Ducks 2. They're just going to be, totally broing out together. Just murdering everything. They got 3 more Black Oak Knights as the rookies, which I think is what Blue Body wanted to do, right, Dom? The rookies are heading, the soldiers are heading into the root cellar with whoever's there. We'll find out next time. Who's ever left from this Legionnaire squad that was its own section. As you're probably counting 10, 12 Legionnaire bodies, including the ones you already killed as you get there. There's a couple squads worth here, 3 squads worth. One is, you can see one was probably a medic when they're dead. And then some rookies and soldiers. And they charge in. The heavies are left in the field. Adorna hears Shreya say that. And then a horse begins to ride out from the west onto the battlefield. And we just see a silhouetted figure from behind as it just rides calmly onto the battlefield, a quiver above the shoulders with all these black fletched arrows sticking out of it. And from over her shoulder, we just see these two heavies attacking her knights. And there we'll come to a close. Yeah, we made a lot out of a little, I think, tonight.
Works.
Oh yeah.
Whew. That was just getting super. I was getting super into it right there. I was like, oh gosh, I don't want to go because I really.
We were rolling too well. You had to get out of here.
Yep.
I didn't want
The
to.
fire was there. So next time it's going to be extra fire. So it's going to be all sixes.
I like you guys rolling like this. I'm okay.
Quadruple.
I'm okay with it.
Triple win.
I am definitely okay with it. It was.
That was wild. I haven't seen that many sixes in this system ever in my rolling.
In roll 20? I think maybe roll 20 is broken.
Yeah. Maybe.
Now, if you would have rolled all 5 of your dice together, Dan, would you still have gotten 2 6s? Because you had to roll those 2 extra afterwards. Well, we'll never know. Well, that's it for me. My name is Lucas. This is Lucas G Variety. We do games on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. And I fill in if something's not going, like this last Tuesday. Nope. Well, at least not at that point. This last Tuesday, I played a little XCOM 2, War of the Chosen, because we were able to do our escape from Dino Island. We just,
Sorry.
No, there's no sorries.
Birthdays.
I used to always take those nights off too, and I'm like, no, I gotta still fill it with something. Either I have to do a replay, or I gotta play a PlayStation game or a Steam game. So I filled it in. Got some War of the Chosen going on, and I'm playing on the Commander level this time around, which is the 3rd level difficulty. I'm trying to up my challenge, but I make characters out of everybody I've ever loved, so that I can't let them die because it's too personal. Did you know the Band of Blades was influenced heavily by 6 major sources? Because it says so right in the front of this great book here. And XCOM 2, Enemy Unknown, is one of those 6. If you've ever played this game or watched it and never played XCOM, you can see the relationship. Vermintide 2 was one, Faster Than Light, Apocalypse World, Blades in the Dark, and Black Company novels by Glenn Cook. These are all the influences. I don't know why I'm going over this, but XCOM, Enemy Unknown, is a big influence here. Anyways, so Thursdays, Band of Blades alternates with Dungeons and Dragons, the Yawning Portal campaign, which I'll be GMing back next week. And on Tuesdays right now is our Gaming Galamafri, which is a different set of small, short-run games with different new GMs, new games, and new players. And Dan will tell you more about that in just a second. But after the one we're currently playing, we're going to come into some action movie world, which does involve both of these gentlemen here. And we're going to finish up with a little... Well, that's pretty much it. I want to try out my game I've been writing with a couple players to play with me, but it's not going to be necessarily recorded. But that's it. Otherwise, we got some Sunday action as well. Dom will tell you about that. And at that point, I'm just going to say thank you for being here. Thank you for any support. Any financial support you can throw away helps improve the channel. Goes right back to it. And will help make it even better for better content, better overlays, better everything later on. So I've already got better lights, better sound because of it, and I thank you out there for that. So I'll pass it over to Soundwaves right now. We'll do our little shoutros, and then we'll go to bed. Well, at least I will.
All right. As you said, I'm Soundwaves Ghost. I play Hero on Tuesdays and Thursdays. This coming Tuesday, we're going to continue the Escape from Dino Island, Powered by the Apocalypse game, where 3 very foolish people have taken a job on an island, and suddenly they find themselves without all the other people around, and the dinosaurs are everywhere and being chased or just on the menu. Last time they made it out of a building and didn't get eaten by the skin of literally their own teeth, because I forgot one rule and one of them did survive. He probably won't next time. Because if he gets another injury, he's dead. And he's got 2, which he shouldn't. The system says get 1, then you die, then you get hit that first one healed before you get another one, then you can get a new injury. But then you can't get any more because you just die because you're just so banged up. But it was also, I was having a lot of fun, so I didn't care that I messed up because I read it after it happened and we were having fun. Like I said.
Someone will die, though. Someone will die.
Yep. And that will be 2 more sessions total of that, just to make up for some other scheduling issues for the follow-up game after that, just to make sure everybody's schedules line back up. And then on Thursdays, I played either this or I have joined, yeah, past tense words. I have joined the D&D campaign as a Warforged fighter Echo Knight variant with some little hand jamming to get it into a non-critical role world. And that's about it for now. I'm working on some other projects in the background. I did support a Kickstarter recently, which I'm very interested in. If people want to go check it out, it's called Old Gods of Appalachia. It was based off a podcast, which I'm not saying you have to subscribe to it, but if you can go check it out, it's very creepy. It's literally like a Call of Cthulhu style, old gods and stuff like that do crazy things, but it's set in the 20s and 30s wilderness that was Appalachian Mountains and the coal mining and stuff like that. The first season is only 6 or 7 episodes, but it's haunting.
They got a lot of content on their website too, on their YouTube. It seems like.
Yeah, they got a lot. They got big real fast. The Kickstarter right now, they asked for 50,000. They're at 998,000.
Well, there you go.
And they have 21 more days to go. So it's going to get.
Oh, that's nice.
But anyway, that's it for me for now. Passing it on to Dom.
Hey guys, what's up? I'm Dom. I run a little server on Discord called Dom's Dungeon Tavern. I'll drop a link to that in the Twitch chat. That's where I run all my personal one-shots and my campaigns. If you ever want to run with me, I have 2 games coming up in the next 3 days. So really some great opportunities to play some fun games. Not Band of Blades, because you can't do one-shots out of Band of Blades, at least not to my to my knowledge.
Not as easily.
No, you'd want to do Dungeon World or something.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we're running. So Dungeon World, ton of fun, really easy to pick up, ton of fun to play. If you don't want to play, you can always watch. Obviously here every other Thursday for Band of Blades. After Dino Island, I'll be helping out with Action Movie World, and every Sunday you can catch us on the Roman Chiaroscuro, which is quickly becoming one of the favorite games I've ever played. Catching up to Band of Blades, of course, this game we're playing right here, right now. This has been one of my favorite campaigns of all time. So I guess a shout out back to Lucas for talking me into this. After D&D 3.5, I was like, oh, crunchy system, hundreds of pages to read. Like, ew, I don't want to touch it. But I've had a tremendous amount of fun with this. So check us out on Sundays. But Lucas, you're still the man.
Oh, no.
I'll pass it back to you then.
Oh, boy. How am I supposed to... You can't follow that. You just can't.
Yeah, Lucas can't follow Lucas.
No. Just going around in circles, chasing my own tail. What? All right. We get to Zorm here. So let me... time to bow out. Time to go home. We'll see you back on Sunday and then back again Tuesday. So have a good night, everybody out there. Yeah, get those links out. Spam it. Yeah, click that. Yeah. There you do. All right, guys. Have a good night. God bless and good gaming. Happy Easter. We'll see you on the flip. Talk to you later.